It was the day before Thanksgiving, 1971. A man calling himself Dan Cooper, though he'd soon be known to the world as D.B. Cooper, walked into Portland International Airport. He looked like any other businessman, mid-40s, dressed in a suit and tie, carrying a briefcase. He bought a one-way ticket to Seattle. No one suspected he was about to pull off the most audacious and mysterious air hijacking in American history. The flight, Northwest Orient 305, was just a short 30-minute hop. Once the plane was in the air, Cooper quietly passed a note to a flight attendant, thinking it was just a phone number. She pocketed it, but Cooper leaned in and said, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." He opened his briefcase just enough for her to see a mess of wires and red sticks. His demands were clear and delivered with an unnerving calm: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle to refuel the plane. When the plane landed in Seattle, authorities had everything ready. The 36 passengers were exchanged for the money and parachutes, all unharmed. But Cooper wasn't finished. He kept several crew members on board and ordered the pilot to take off again, this time heading for Mexico City. He instructed them to fly low, slow, and unpressurized, with the landing gear down. It was a strange and specific request. Then, somewhere over the vast, rugged wilderness of southwestern Washington, in the middle of a raging storm, Cooper did the unthinkable. He lowered the rear air stairs of the Boeing 727, strapped the ransom money to his body, and stepped out into the freezing, black night. He jumped, vanishing into the darkness and the dense forest below. When the plane landed a couple of hours later, Cooper was gone. The only things he left behind were his clip-on tie, a mother-of-pearl tie pin, and 8 cigarette butts. This sparked one of the most extensive and longest-running manhunts in FBI history. Investigators scoured the dense forests, but they found nothing. No body, no parachute, no briefcase, no sign of the money. It was as if D.B. Cooper had simply evaporated into thin air. Did he die in the jump, his body lost forever in the unforgiving terrain, or did he somehow survive and escape with the cash? For years, the case went completely cold. Then, in 1980, a young boy on a picnic with his family was digging in the sand along the banks of the Columbia River. He uncovered 3 bundles of rotting cash, about $5,800 in total. The serial numbers were a perfect match for the ransom money. This was the first and only solid piece of evidence ever found, but it only deepened the mystery. How did just a small portion of the money end up there, miles from the predicted drop zone, and what happened to the rest? Theories have swirled for decades. Was Cooper an experienced paratrooper, an ex-military man with survival skills, or was he an amateur who had no idea what he was getting into and perished almost immediately? The FBI investigated thousands of suspects, but every lead went cold. They analyzed the tie he left behind for DNA, but the results were inconclusive. In 2016, after 45 years of dead ends, the FBI officially closed the active investigation, acknowledging that the mystery of D.B. Cooper may never be solved. He remains a legend, a folk hero to some, a reckless criminal to others. The man who boarded a plane, demanded a fortune, and then jumped into oblivion, becoming America's greatest unsolved mystery. What do you think happened to him? Let me know your theories in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more mysteries.